I'm sorry, I just wanted to get more views. Hi, how you doing? If you don't know what Skyblock is, then don't worry. I don't either. What I do know is that this is the most played Minecraft server ever, and there's also lots of people who hate it, which has led me to this investigation. This is a long video, a mix of playthrough and video essay capturing my experiences with Hypixel Skyblock. And check this out. Apuesto mucho esfuerzo en este video, donde le fait traduire en plusieurs langues. In der Hoffnung, dass mir Leute Spaß im Video haben können. Gochicho, arigatou gozaimashita. And without further ado, here's how it went. Hi, Jerry. Hey, yo, what's up, Cobble? Here we are on the main Skyblock Island, surrounded by many other islands with their own themes and objectives. I can already see flashes of my life wasting away. Skyblock has established itself as the biggest MMORPG in Minecraft, and by this point, people have already come to their own opinions about this game. I played this game way back when it first released, but I never really got too far into it, instead choosing to experience Skyblock through videos.
Permission to activate warp speed! Later, idiots!
Technoblade was how I learned about Skyblock. It was during his reign over Skyblock that the server peaked at over 200,000 players, a record that will likely never be broken for years to come. From the very start, this game does not hold your hand. You can do whatever you want and almost everything gives you progress in some sort of way. But of course, there's probably a best way. Your ability to earn money plays an extremely important role in how fast you're able to progress. There's a bunch of different ways for grinding money early on, but only one that I found extremely interesting. Here's the goal. I need to get Skyblock levels as fast as possible. Skyblock has a level up system that's pretty much designed for players to flex how much time they spent in game. Level ups don't really do much other than grant you a minuscule amount of HP and an entire +1 strength every 5 level ups. You get Skyblock XP by literally doing anything in this game until doing it no longer gives you XP. These level ups might seem worthless, but they're very important as a new player. Alrighty, I need Skyblock level 12. Leveling up your skills gives hella Skyblock XP, and increasing them is satisfyingly quick at low levels. Each skill also has a bajillion individual collections in it that give Skyblock XP. To make things even better, leveling the farming skill and any other skill gives us more and more coins the higher the level gets. And these values are not something to laugh at when starting with a brand new profile. Except, I've lied to you. Farming is not the first thing I did. I visited a popular island and ate cake, which gave me hella bonus stats. Then I talked to Jamie, and he gave me a sword for free. I killed zombies with the sword in order to get combat level 1, which unlocked the Spider's Den, the first of many islands I'll be visiting in my Skyblock journey. Oh my god! Pet acquired. Yo! This is important because now I can level up Taming. It levels up by earning XP in any skill, which means free Skyblock XP and coins while not even having to think about it. There's one last thing on the Spider's Den, and it involves free money. Hey, how you doing? He gave me a compass and told me, go find some relics. And these relics gave me Ooga Booga coins when I found them. Hey welcome back to the wheat fields. I got 30,000 coins from finding those relics, so that should explain how I can afford all of my enchanted tools. There's a bunch of merchants all over the hub where I could either buy the tools or buy the materials needed to craft them, including the 2 blocks of coal and gold I needed to get myself a bee pet. Thank you very much. Immediately after enchanting my tools, I got Skyblock level 1, bringing me one step closer towards my current goal of level 12. And up next, say hello to the Farm Island. Here's why I'm annihilating innocent animals. Minions. Minions are these little gremlins that grind 24/7. They generate resources out of thin air and make it so that I don't have to work as hard. These little dudes help us towards maxing out individual collections, which gets us Skyblock XP. And crafting these guys in the first place also gets us Skyblock XP. You craft minions using resources from their collection and you can upgrade them too. The price pretty much doubles every time, so it gets pretty insane later on. I had to get a head start on my farm animal collection, so hopefully that explains my emotional moment. Hi, welcome to the desert. Here's why I got that golden shovel. It levels up mining really fast. As a new player, these Skyblock levels have a huge impact, which is why I'm rushing them. At level 3, you unlock the community center. At level 6, items go straight to your inventory instead of having to pick them up. And at level 7, you unlock the bazaar. Hi Elizabeth. What's important about this place is Elizabeth here gives you a free cookie. Booster cookies are super good. They give you quality of life features and boost your skill experience gain for everything. Normally these cost real money, or you have to buy them off the bazaar for coins, but first one's on the house. She also offers you these Clash of Clans-esque upgrade things where you need to wait real time to upgrade stuff, or you can spend real money to skip these time requirements. Skyblock is a pay-to-win game for real. Enough talking! Skyblock level 7 awaits us. Big. Say hello to Melody. She has a rhythm game for me to play, and completing her songs gets me XP. And I can only play the next songs if I get 100% accuracy. There's one problem though. Melody's rhythm game is kind of unfair if your ping is bad. And lucky for me, my internet is good. Did I get it? Yeah! Godly imagination. Wah! First try, baby. Give me that. Buh! You gotta be Let's fucking go! That took me an entire 10 minutes, and I got a pretty cool accessory from it. Accessories are another important source of Skyblock XP, and something called Magic Power. Hello Maxwell. Magic Power is added by every accessory in your bag, acquired from crafting, buying, or whatever. Your accessory's rarity determines the amount of magic power you get from it, and you get 1 Skyblock XP for every 1 magic power. Your magic power is a very important way to increase your stats, and you can even choose a specific stat to boost. I'm just going to stick with the warrior power for now, but there's a couple important ones that I will need to unlock later on. Welcome! It's time for Operation Mine Diamonds. Here we are at the auction house where dreams are sold. Fortunately, there's no requirements to use the auction house, and this means that I can cheat the game. The Glaciite set. Bought this off the auction house for a whopping 150,000 coins. I'm feeling pretty good. I can't even access the place you would normally find this armor. Cheating is awesome. And with this, I'm now prepared for my next mission. Operation Mine Diamonds. I just need to get to the very bottom of this cave and get 3 diamonds. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to announce that Operation Mine Diamonds was a success. Easy. This armor is way too strong for this area. While I was down there, a guy named Rice gave me a quest, and completing it will give me access to a pretty important area. See this enchanted redstone? This is crafted with 2.5 stacks of redstone. I need 10 of these for 3 different ores. I got Skyblock level 7 while I was down there in the mines, and that unlocked the bazaar. Since it was pretty cheap, I decided to buy 10 enchanted gold, and after that I had everything I needed to finish the quest. This place is filled with life. You have kings, goblins, treasure hunters, unique ores, and a bunch of new things that I'll probably ignore for a while. The first thing I want to do is kill these guys. Murder! With my pickaxe. It's time to grind my combat skill to level 12. Breaking news! Tonight reports have come in stating that ice walkers are currently being exterminated.
Poor things. Almost as if they're rats.
Very sad.
We have a victim's family member on the scene here with us.
Yeah! Combat level 12. Holy crap. They are selling for 200k each. 500k coins. I'm rich! During that satisfying grind, I also picked up XP orbs, which should help me level up my enchanting skill. It's pretty important that I reach enchanting level 10 as soon as possible, and here's why.
Here comes the money.
Level 11! One level away from level 12. Wait a second. What happened to level 8 and 9?
Booyah! Wow! This kicks like a mule.
Say hello to fairy souls. These are the graves of dead fairies, and Tia wants you to collect them all. These little pieces of trash are littered all over the place, and I found them. All of them. I did this immediately after getting Skyblock level 7, because I could buy Ender Pearls for very cheap off the bazaar. Even though I'm completely cheating, this is fun. I like exploring like this. You get to see all these weird, like, random structures everywhere. It's awesome. She gave me 2 entire level ups worth of XP, and that was only from finding souls on the main island. So, here I am, 1 level away from 12. And now that I have money, there's an easy trick. Check this out. I'm gonna buy this for 100,000 coins. Level 11, level 13, level 14, and Skyblock level 12. Here we are at the Wizard Tower. We finally gained access to this after rushing Skyblock level 12. But why? Inside this portal is a land of opportunity, and it just looked super fun. After watching the trailer and some Rift playthrough videos, I just had to give this a try. Minikloon had a whole video talking about how they made it, and honestly, I just find the whole project so intriguing. And to top it all off, I was given some information about money-making methods. For now, it's time for me to take my next step forward.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Whoa. Welcome to the Rift. Things here are weird compared to the normal Hypixel Skyblock experience. Talking to the wizard starts you off in this quick little introduction to the world, allowing you to witness that you have a timer ticking down. That's right, there's a time limit. This feature is used in a unique way. Instead of having to worry about your health, enemies instead deal damage to your time. Naturally, your total time per visit goes up as you complete quests here in the Rift, and there's ways to actively increase your time. These floating particles that can be collected are called motes, and this is the currency here in the Rift. After completing this mini quest, you unlock the Rift Guide, and it's actually pretty useful, so I'll definitely be using this. Now, I must mention I did watch some Rift videos before jumping in for the first time, so I knew what I was doing. Kinda? There was one thing I definitely had to do on my first trip in the Rift, and that was to collect Enigma Souls. Yep, that's way too high. La 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 la. Yoink. What is this place and why do I love it? There's so much weird random stuff scattered around and the energy feels great. I even have a pet cat. Here in the Wild Woods, a fair share of activities can be found up in the trees, including my first weapon. The weapons add a very tiny amount of damage, but a shy takes one that's hit to kill, so that's nice. Blood. Bam! Check me out. fully dripped in this wild armor. Cost me a few motes to get these, but that's okay. Since your health doesn't really matter, the armor pieces instead help you out with giving you more time. The helmet for this specific set is pretty damn useful. Every time I kill a creature, I earn an entire second of rift time. Yes, hello there. Huh? Let me fix that right quick. Boop. Say hello to Inverted Sirius. He wants you to buy a stability elixir. Sounds easy enough. Just go buy one. Oh, if only it was so simple. Hey, do you know where I can find the stability elixir?
Sorry, pal. Fresh out of stability elixir. You should ask around.
Oh, thank you. Excuse me, sir. I'm looking for a stability elixir. Oh, right. The stability elixir. The stability elixir for Sirius. The stability elixir chosen especially to kill Sirius.
Stability elixir?
Stability elixir?
Inverted Sirius?
Psycho Mantis.
Police, do you know where I can find a stability elixir?
I think I know someone who does.
I am an evil scientist professor. This guy definitely knows. Nope. Talk to Ashura. I'm sorry, I was hoping you might know where I can find a stability elixir. Please, I'm just trying to find one. Yeah, I know where it is. I need me some of that bath water. Hey, yo! Give me that. Been marinating this potion. That hits the spot.
Hey, I just finished my greatest project ever.
Say hello to Elise. She's been working on a crazy science project and I have a big part to play. There's these items called time charms. Almost each area has one and they all require you to do something in order to earn or craft them. You farm for one, you mine for one, complete tricky puzzles, or fighting bosses. You do some crazy stuff here in the Rift and honestly, it's so much fun. Oh, shit. In order to get back into the Rift, there's a fee. It costs grand experience bottles or bits, and for anyone who's been playing this game for more than a week, this costs nothing. But what about me, someone who's only been playing this game for an entire day? I'm broke. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of my High Pixel Skyblock series! Get rich quick! This one goes out to you newer players. You know that booster cookie you got for free at level 3? Well, that shit's what earns you bits! You can buy stuff at the bit shop and sell them on the auction house for free money! Unfortunately for you, you have small bits! Life hack! If you have a Discord account, pretty much any community Discord will have the Sky Helper boss. Just type /bits, and you can see what bit shop item is currently selling for the most. Get out there and win the game! Thanks, Motivational Skyblock Bro. Holy. Welcome back to the Rift. It's time for the Black Lagoon. This area ups the difficulty a little bit, and it's where we'll be crafting our first time charm. And the best part would have to be the boss fight. There we go. I thought I was gonna die. Thank you for the carry. Yoink. Black Lagoon. Long way gone. Bringing these to the gallery and placing them on their pedestal marks your progress here in the Rift. But more importantly, claiming these time charms lets me unlock the next area. And this next area is way bigger than the one I was just in. West Village, Dread Farm, and the Mirrorverse. Say hi to Joey McPizza. He's a world-class competitive pizza eater trying to break into the hot dog scene. The chef cooks the hell out of some hot dogs and they're thrown everywhere. Your job is to bring them to his plate so he can eat them. Get 50 or more before the timer ends and you're rewarded an Enigma Soul. Over at the farm, you can craft a blowgun with the wilted berberis. One of the Enigma Souls is trapped in a chest with a conspicuous floating anvil above it. This one's a pain in the ass. I had to water this plant like 20 times, and after an exaggeratedly long time, I finally got the Enigma Soul. To be fair, looking down from this height kind of made it worth it. I'm glad this is the one you need the most of. What? Yes. Yes. Oh. Chicken and egg. There we go. And that's West Village complete, is what I would say, but there's one last thing. The Mirrorverse. The Mirrorverse has several floors, testing many of your gamer skills. Some are easy, some will make you feel stupid, and the others will make you question why you even logged on in the first place. Floors 1 through 3 were whatever, but floor 4 and beyond are when stuff starts to get crazy. Looks easy, but most of these wood blocks are fake. The true path is the one reflected in the ceiling. There's a hard mode that makes it so the blocks you stand on break, so of course I toggled that on. Where the fuck? Oh. Down. No. There we go. There we go. There we go. Nope. Let's fucking go! Ooh. Each of the floors after this one also have accessories that you can earn if you do the extra challenge, so I did all of them. Floor 5 slaps you in the face with this dumb pressure plate door puzzle. The final puzzle is super confusing and rewards you an accessory if you complete it. The next floor is floor 6, also known as the dance room. Last one. Get out of here. Goodbye. Fuck you, game. Yep. Yeah. Fuck you. I don't even want this. And the final floor is the invisible parkour. This puzzle challenges your ability to gauge where the invisible blocks are by using the mirror and this laser pointer that Dr. Emmett gives you. And with that completed, I was able to get the time charm. GG. I'm taking a quick break from the action to say thanks for watching. This video serves as my excuse to learn more about this game and to develop my own opinion. Lots of people say this game isn't worth playing, and I really wanted to see where they were coming from. What I do know is that this game inspired one hell of a video from me, and we're just getting started. Subscribe if you want to support the channel, and back to the video. Merry Christmas, everyone. This place is great. I got a rare accessory by flying around on a chicken, protected the village from waves of enemies. I was just picking up gifts and now we're getting attacked by these Minecraft e-boy skins. and got a bunch of free stuff. While I was at it, I decided to set up some redstone minions so that I could start making some small progress towards the accessory bag upgrades. I want to do even more upgrades for my minions, but first I need way more money, and jumping back into the rift is how I can accomplish that. The rift journey continues, and this next area is pretty important to me. Welcome to the plaza. Say hello to the coolest guy in the rift. Guy has some scary sounds. If you get too close, it starts pulling you in. Like this. And what happens if you get sucked in, you ask? You f***ing die. Kicked out of the rift. All your time gone. Temporal pillar, so cool. This place has a whole lot going on, and it also has the first real money-making method. I'm talking 10+ million coins an hour. Here's the catch. Say hello to Lenny. I hate Lenny. This rabbit piece of trash has both saved and ruined my life simultaneously. This dude gives you a bazooka that shoots horses, and you destroy the hay bales this way, revealing patches of carrots growing within this cave. You have to lead Lenny to these carrots in order to farm them, except Lenny also hates me. God damn it, Lenny, you're going the wrong way! It's a mutual relationship. He runs away from me instead of following, and his AI is absolutely terrible. And since it sucks, nobody likes to do it. That's why he makes money. You craft and sell these exportable carrots for a ton of coins. I actually did this so much that I managed to get a really high leaderboard spot for the half-eaten carrot collection. Help me? Now this looks interesting. I'm sorry! I just wanted more views! And there you go. Parkour. Name soul. Thank you. Hi, Jerry. Thought you could escape me, did you? Silly. Can't run away from Jerry.
Oh god, there's another one. There's another Jerry. And he's staring right at me. There's another one.
Let's do this thing. Here we go. Solving the case of the reverse murder. Easily my favorite quest inside the rift. The detective here has you run around all creation, trying to find clues and talking to people in order to put the pieces together necessary to solve this case. Spoiler alert. You are the reverse murderer. This entire quest sets you up perfectly to murder Romero. First, you take the sword that is going to become the weapon used at the crime scene into your custody. Then you look around for Romero in order to inform him of his untimely demise. He locks himself inside his home and you break into his house with the power of the fourth wall. And that's when the detective looked me square in the eyes and said I had to do what was right to solve the case. I was congratulated and rewarded this ring, stolen from the corpse of the person I just annihilated. Citizen Time Charm acquired. And that's Plaza complete. The next time charm is in the Living Cave, an area connected to the plaza. There's a good money-making method involved with this cave. 2 items in particular, the Polaroid book and the Bluetooth ring. Both of these use a material called the Living Heart, which is acquired by mining these living metal snakes. This method made me about 20 million coins an hour, which is insanely good for where I'm at. Of course, I had to do a bunch of stuff before I was grinding this cave for money. Honestly, this cave is one of the first grindier parts of the rift, but even then, it only took me an hour to get the time charm. Easy enough. GG. Alright, this next time charm is pretty damn epic. Say hello to Bakti. He's a big boy. This giant green boss has 5 phases. 1, easy phase. 2, not as easy phase. Kill Bakti. Phase 3. 4, he's getting bigger. Uh-oh, helicopter. It's just throwing everything at you. There we go. Final phase. Left click to blast. Bakti. Come here, Bakti. Bakti. Yes! The entire fight is awesome. Winning rewards you a big paycheck and some Bacti fragments, which are necessary for crafting a bunch of important stuff. Globulate time charm, my beloved. One time charm left. The last area is called Stilgore Chateau. There's just one last thing standing in my way. Parkour. This just in. Extremely lucky man manages to do the Rift Laser parkour for the first time in just over a minute. Here in the Rift, we take great pride in watching people suffer at this parkour. And this stupid looking person has completely blown away our expectations. Mike is on the scene. Thank you, Michael. Here's the lucky man that completed the parkour.
Tell us something your mum doesn't know. Yeah.
Welcome. This is the last and final place in the Rift. We got vampires, we got the last bit of Enigma Souls, and most importantly, my very first Slayer quest. Or it would be if it didn't have requirements. Unfortunately, it isn't my time to grind vampires yet. I won't let that bring me down though. With my remaining time in the Rift, I managed to get every single last Enigma Soul here at Stilgore.
Good day, sir. How may I help you?
I would like a scotch, please. Animal style.
Certainly. He's downstairs.
Here we go. You there! Do you thirst for adventure? Do you wish to slay the mightiest beasts of the land? This boisterous man has problems, and they're called Slayer bosses. He offers combat quests where you're tasked with slaying a boss.
Like you cut, G.
These bosses have 4 or 5 tiers each, with each tier being exponentially harder than the last. Now that I had money methods in the Rift, I could easily buy the gear I needed to make these low-level Slayer bosses a piece of cake. Which is good, because I had no interest in any Slayer boss other than Vampire. There were some benefits to spending my time on this though. Packmaster Tier 2 was a requirement to start the quests, and conveniently the Pack Slayer level 3 unlocks the Maddox Bat Phone. The Maddox Bat Phone allows me to access the Slayer menu from anywhere instead of having to walk to Maddox every time. I'm also going to need combat level 15 since it's required for any Tier 4 Slayer quest. These were the only 3 necessary things I needed to do, and I did a bit more than necessary by getting level 3 in Revenant, Tarantula, and Wolf, which managed to get me a lot of Skyblock levels. I just realized that it took me only 3 days to catch up to my old profile. Almost 5 years old now. What am I wearing? What? I have these New Year's cakes. No clue if they're worth anything, but they're probably the rarest thing I have. I played back when Skyblock first came out. Only a little bit though. I had more fun watching the YouTube videos than I did actually playing the game. But this time around, I got hella addicted to this game. It's pretty damn fun. Being able to jump into the Rift this early has been super entertaining for me. Thank you to whoever was responsible for making this. It's awesome. There it is. Vampiric Time Charm. GG. And that's the final Time Charm. There were some annoying materials I had to grind to craft this final time charm, but who cares? What matters is I had to grind this super fun vampire boss to get them. This boss has 5 tiers, with each one adding another layer of complexity in a very challenging and entertaining way. Tier 1 through 3 are a piece of cake, but Tier 4? This fight is worth explaining. This boss ability is called Mania. Mania is when the vampire enters this domain phase. You have a few seconds to stand on the green blocks, otherwise you take damage. Twin Claws is when the boss launches these claw strikes, one directly at you, and another the complete opposite way. Other than dodging Twin Claws, you can use an item called Holy Ice, which reduces incoming damage for an entire second and a half. If you're really good at the timing, you could do some funny stuff. Impel is the action command that pops up in the middle of your screen, and if you miss it, you take a lot of damage. Stone Wrath is a combo ability with 3 parts. The vampire spawns 3 minions that steal 1 heart each. When they die, you get your health back and they leave behind their skull. Soon after spawning the minions, the vampire will jump into the air, and the floor is marked with where the vampire is going to airstrike. But you can't just run away. You permanently destroy them by leading the airstrike to the group of skulls. Otherwise, they resurrect, and you have to waste time killing them. Plus, they take away your health, which is really annoying. Say hello to the Killer Spring. If you let the time reach 0, you die. Simple as that. Just spam left and right click in order to compress the Killer Spring and it will go away. Sometimes it spawns in combination with other abilities and it can get really dangerous. By the way, during this entire fight, you are losing 1 heart a second. You heal yourself with these magical melons and they are pretty mana expensive. You can't just spam the melon, otherwise you'll run out of mana and die. I absolutely love this fight, but it doesn't stop at tier 4. There is another, even more chaotic challenge for the vampire fight. Tier 5. And I can't fight it yet! I need combat level 25! The worst part is it doesn't mention this anywhere. I had a whole damn plan and everything. God damn! Hello and welcome to the end. This is the first place I'm visiting in my journey to level up my combat skill. I watched a video guide and saw there was a pretty good grind spot here and I wanted to check it out. New problem though, these monsters are hella strong. Solution, there's an easy way to make myself stronger. Say hello to the God Potion. God Potions are way overpowered. They give you a whole lot of everything like increased skill experience, tons of walk speed, and huge increases to your survivability and damage. We have permission to activate Warp Speed! See you later, idiots! Now that I have the money, this is totally something I should be using. And guess what? It would have been nice to know about this potion while I was grinding those Slayer bosses. This entire experience has taught me that there is a lot of stuff that I might be missing out on that I could literally just buy right now. Nah, there's nothing like that. Nothing to worry about at all. I did buy some other stuff in preparation for the end though. And I have a new friend. Being able to fly around in this wise dragon set is very satisfying. With that done, it's time to grind Zealot Bruisers just like that video guide told me to. Turns out it won't be nearly as easy to grind combat levels as I was expecting. I needed to find a way to get combat level 20, and I was recommended 2 things. Bestiary milestones are a great source of combat XP. Every monster in the game has their own milestone and they come with some nice bonuses. Milestones from each creature add up towards your total bestiary level, and every 5 levels you get a nice chunk of combat XP. Getting milestones is very easy at early levels, so those are definitely worth getting. Grinding bestiary milestones is boring as hell though, so people will usually ignore it and just let it naturally happen until way into the end game. Slayer bosses are self-explanatory. Killing the bosses gives you a big chunk of combat XP and you're already earning XP in order to summon them in the first place. The stronger your equipment, the faster you earn XP, and these low-level Slayer bosses are pretty straightforward. Here's the strategy. You see, there's a pretty strong weapon that I could use at combat level 18. The Aspect of the Dragons. The sword even has a pair of gloves that goes with it to make it even stronger. I wanted to get this before I started grinding Slayer bosses, since the damage increase would speed up the progress very nicely. So, I grinded easy bestiary milestones, spending a few minutes per monster and maxing out some of the easy ones like farm animals. And I got combat level 18. Then I immediately started grinding out the Zombie Slayer. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube tutorial video for Slayer bosses.
What is this cringe? Hey guys, welcome back to this episode of Pro Slayer Tips and Tricks. Tip number 1. All the pet rules are really good. This one's expensive, and it's well worth it. This dumb idiot didn't know about this upcoming trick, but I got you covered. King of the jungle. Look at this ability. Big damage! Wolf pet. Bark bark. Not big damage, but as combat XP boost. Does your caveman head understand this? Set your auto rule to equip your lion pet when a Slayer boss spawns, and set your wolf pet to spawn after a Slayer quest starts. Tip number 2. You see this noob? Stop taking knockback! Today's video is sponsored by Xiaomit. Don't let your problems push you down. These Slayer bosses knock you around like there's no tomorrow, so you're gonna want one of these babies. Check out how this satisfied customer can now comfortably grind the Spider Slayer boss. Smash that like and subscribe button and get out there and win the game!
Thank you, Motivational Skyblock Bro. I grinded Slayer level 6 for Zombie, Wolf, and Spider, which unlocked a really nice quality of life. Slayer Auto Quest. I'm getting way ahead of myself though. I wouldn't unlock Slayer Auto Quest until an entire week later, around the same time that I would get combat level 25. Y'all know about dungeons? What about Dojo? It's time I showed you how I got combat level 25.
Hello again everyone, welcome back to Skyblock News. I'm your host Aurelius, and today we'll be covering how Looney lied about grinding for combat level 25.
Oh no, that's not good. Wait, look, I can explain. I have money now, and there's a bunch of different ways I could spend it instead of being super boring. It wasn't like I didn't have a plan or anything. Oh, look at him buying accessories for his magic power. And now I have a Campfire God badge. I spent an hour crafting minions for more minion slots. Spending money on alchemy never hurt anybody? Wait, I think I'm forgetting something. Oh god. Throughout both of these days, I had spent a fair amount of my time just grinding money and doing whatever. There ain't enough carrots for the both of us. Draw, cowboy! I was using that money as I see fit in order to progress in some way or another, completely forgetting about this largely important thing called mining. Mining has a ton of great money-making methods, and I plan on relying on it. Getting to the point where I'm making tons of money will take a while though. Skyblock's mining skill has a feature called Heart of the Mountain, a perk tree with more features unlocked the higher you level this system. Some people are crazy enough to spend days grinding the hell out of commissions in order to level up their Heart of the Mountain. Fortunately for me, there's a lazy way to do this. Daily commissions! Every day you get a bonus of 900 Heart of the Mountain XP for your first 4 commissions. It would take you 2 months of daily commissions to get the highest level. Oh no.
And there is now a tier 8, 9, and 10.
Wow, Looney, that's a long time. Why would you do that? Because I can! The best mining progression skip is this pickaxe named Picanimbus. This thing has a ridiculous mining speed, but in return has a limited durability. The durability doesn't really matter when you take a look at how cheap it is though. Getting a new one is easy peasy, so who cares if it breaks? I did. I cared. When I broke my first Picanimbus, I also broke my heart. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Oh, you're so cute. With all of this said, my whole plan for now was to just set up my mining set so that I could quickly do the daily commissions and otherwise ignore mining. Welcome to the Crimson Isles. This place has a combat level 22 requirement, and for good reason. The difficulty spikes here on this hellish island, and mobs here are insanely chunky. Honestly, I have no reason being here, if it wasn't for one reason. I'm bored! I'm tired of grinding Enderman! There's only one thing that can fix this. Say hello to the dojo. A collection of minigame challenges with a reward that includes tons of combat XP. The dojo has 7 different challenges. The general idea? Survive until you die, or make the most out of the time you're given. I have made it my goal to completely destroy this content. The first challenge, Test of Force, is easy. Punch the zombies into the lava while avoiding the names with negative point values at all costs. Hitting these guys will instantly kill them and you will lose points. 800 points. Rank A. The test of stamina is the hole-in-the-wall minigame, except it sucks. Nah, you gotta be kidding me. Unfortunate. Level 69. Okay, this next one's a banger. The test of mastery. Shoot targets before they disappear. Yellow and red are worth more points. And I completely forgot about that last part. Where the cooler colors at? Oh, that's why. I didn't realize it was like that. Rank B. Ooh, that's rough. I like that. Okay, we go back to that later. The test of discipline is pretty simple. Smack the zombie according to their armor with the corresponding weapon. There's even a name telling you what to smack them with. Rank A, almost 1,000 points from that one first try. That's not that bad. The test of swiftness is dumb. Goal: stay on top of the green wall. This one seems like it can get really bad if the server is lagging. Okay, I see. Oh shit, and now it's expecting me to parkour as well. Not good. Not good. Alright, let's figure this one out. I don't want to say its name. Welcome to the test of control. This one sucks just as much as swiftness, except this one isn't fun. Staring at the skeleton gets you points and increases your time limit. Except Billy Bones here has ninja tricks and summons monsters to kill you, making this challenge pretty damn hard. Rank C? That is not good. Oh, I am so screwed on that one. Say hello to the test of tenacity. Here's your platform. Don't fall off. Hello, gas. Gas spawn and attempt to shoot you. If they miss, it breaks your platform instead. Direct hits won't kill you immediately, but instead will leave permanent damage until you eventually run out of HP. Keep going. Keep going. 2 hearts. 2 hearts left. There you go, GG. S. With all the challenges out of the way, I was 1,700 points away from the dojo's black belt reward. 7,000 points total assumes you would aim for 1,000 in each game. This would be ideal, but the difficulty curve of these minigames is far from balanced. I would instead need to rely on getting more than 1,000 in the better games in order to make it so that I don't need S rank in everything. 30 pointer, get in there. Get in there, get in there. Oh, so close. 10 points away from 1,000. Well, we're good at that. We're good at that. I can get a lot of points with this one. Red targets are worth 32 points. You can get a ton with this. I feel like if you're a cheater, easy. Easy. Don't care. Don't care. I do care about you, though. Go for it. There you go. See that? 1,300 points. Black belt is free with that. How's my combat not leveled up? Ah, level 71, baby. Getting 7,000 is gonna be easy enough. This one's funny. I like this one. You can't jump fast enough! Ah! Ah! No! Oh, I'm still alive! Where? Oh my god! It's so dumb. Like, honestly, I could do the arrow one again and get 200 more points on it. That one's easy. Oh, easy. Ah! Oh my god! Oh, I see.
The animatronic characters here do get a bit quirky at night.
That one sucks. Well, let's see how far I can get. We only need 300 more points. There is now no time to think. That was really good. 900 points. Dude, I only need 73 points. It's time for me to face my biggest fear. Fuck you, game. Oh, you gotta be kidding me, I did it again. Bad RNG. Oh, and it casted skeletons again? Wait, that's a win. GG! Black belt in under an hour! GG, Dojo Grandmaster. Combat level 23. Oh. Yay! Woo! Yeah, baby! Sorry to screw up the happy moment, but there's a damn glitch that ruined it for me. I've been scammed out of a black belt. In order to enter the dojo in the first place, you have to take off all your equipment, right? You can't have anything in your inventory either. This includes the white belt reward that I immediately claimed and placed into my ender chest. Look at me, mindlessly claiming the upgrades without realizing that I am committing a massive blunder. I'm over-exaggerating, it isn't that bad of a fix. Rusty over at the gold mines is an absolute homie. He just let me buy a new one for 1 million coins and I was on my way. That doesn't fix the problem though. I want my 1 million coins back, Hypixel. Pretty please? Just kidding, they fixed the bug a few days later. The Crimson Isles is a huge place, and I just finished one tiny part of it. This island has way more going on, and in order to ease you into this, the developers have designed a questline. Say hello to Mommy. I mean, Mommy. Her name's Elle. She's pretty much our tour guide of the Crimson Isles after realizing we could help make her job easier. She also introduces you to the two different factions, the Barbarians and the Mages. These two factions are rivals, and I'm gonna have to choose one. Regardless of whichever faction I choose, my activities will end up pretty similar. And I chose to join the Mages. What are you doing? Guards! Oh no. Oh, my head. Feel like I'm burning. Definitely drank too. Oh no! Now, folks, this is why you don't drink and fly. You unknowingly end up in situations like this, trapped inside the belly of a beast. Good thing you're taking this class though, because now I can teach you how to take advantage of this situation. Every single day, this beast produces called heavy pearls. This precious jewel has an important use, upgrading the special Crimson Isles equipment. If you're a lucky person who found yourself melting away in stomach juices, or if you're crazy enough to jump in on purpose, you can collect 3. Oh, these guys are treasures. Thank you, Southern Accent Mage Teacher. At the time of editing, 3 months later, I have almost 3 stacks of heavy pearls. Now that's only halfway. You need 6 stacks to upgrade a Crimson Isles set to max level. It's pretty ridiculous. You also only need 1 stack to make hundreds of millions of coins with a special trick involving trophy fishing. But that's a story for another day. The truth is, my only goal here was to have some fun at the dojo and get the combat XP rewards for combat level 23. I had fun exploring, but now it's time to get back to the grind towards combat level 25. Which is why I need someone to explain to me, what am I doing here? This place is unique, and I mean that literally. Each world's version of the Crystal Hollows is kinda different. The caves are randomly generated with special structures never being in the same place. However, it isn't entirely random. Welcome to the Crystal Nucleus. This is the heart of the Crystal Hollows and will always be a significant structure indicating the middle of the map. The Crystal Nucleus is the name of the treasure vault. In order to unlock its rewards, you need to acquire the keys. The jungle requires you to find 2 structures, one with a key guardian and the jungle temple. Taking the key here grants you access to an area where your item abilities and special stats from potions no longer apply. And then you have to do parkour. It isn't really that hard, except failing means you have to get another key and start over, which is why it's very nice that you can just buy jungle keys off the bazaar. Completing the parkour rewards you with the amethyst crystal. Precursor City is up next, and it has one megastructure. This is the Lost Precursor City. These automatons drop robot parts, which you give to this guy to open the door, revealing the Sapphire Crystal. In the Mithril deposits, you can find the Mines of Devon. You're given a metal detector, and it's meant to help you find the treasure. Except, I'm a cheater. These utility mods have some dumb features, like this one that finds where the treasure is and highlights it. Makes the whole process a breeze. The reason why I'm doing this is to find the 4 special items. Giving these to the dudes up top gets you the crystal. The goblin one is weird. There's 2 areas I need to find. The king's hideout and the queen's castle, which is where the crystal is located. In order to even get into the queen's castle, I have to somehow trick the guards into thinking I'm a goblin. He's a king, right? I wonder what he looks like.
Get me 3 eggs and I'll help you think like a goblin.
Oh, no!
12 seconds later.
Ooh, shiny crystal. Yoink! After that excruciating experience, there was only 1 crystal left. Say hi to Ball. He's not actually that bad, all things considered. Your damage doesn't really matter. Instead, you just need to hit him a ton of times before he shrinks down, revealing the final crystal. I now have all 5 crystals. After such a long journey exploring these damn caves, I really hope there's a huge explosion and lots of pretty colors, and boom. Huh? Wait. That's it? Are you kidding me? Oh no. On the same day as my Crystal Hollows adventure, I made huge progress in my minion setup, just so that I could place down a ton of redstone minions. Redstone collection is important for one thing: accessory bag upgrades. The truth is, I should have started caring about accessories ages ago. Magic power is absolutely busted. I've had my sudden inspirations here and there, but now was the time to worry about it. Welcome to the Catacombs. To put it simply, the dungeons are a well-executed stat check with an incredibly high skill ceiling for speedrun efficiency, and this content is important for your Skyblock progression. It's important that you properly prepare for the Catacombs so that your party can quickly get a high score and thus better rewards. At low levels, everyone understands that people are still learning how to get around, and there are options available to speed things up or even ignore progression. Consider this: carrying services. Players can pay for carries in order to get floor completions and gain Catacombs XP, which are incredibly important for progression. Some of the greatest items in the game have these sort of requirements in order for you to use them, and meeting these requirements is meant to be hard to do. What's your opinion about this? Personally, I'm okay with it, but only if you have previous playthrough experience. For example, 15H and Yarns are a super experienced duo. They were top players who got their accounts wiped for whatever reason, and they were committed to speedrunning their new profile to endgame. And one of their progression steps was paying for dungeon carries. This is completely understandable. They have already experienced the game and are good players. And this makes sense. It's very efficient to do this, so I don't see why not. The real problem is when people get carried and don't know what they're doing in higher level dungeons. Check me out. I got the Kata level 0 pro gamer scuffed ass berserker dungeon setup. The strong dragon armor with the tarantula helmet because the tarantula helmet is cool. My weapon of choice is still the aspect of dragons with the dragon fused gloves, the rift necklace, black belt, and I bought this molten cloak now that I'm combat level 22. The entrance is the dungeon's floor 0, pretty much the tutorial. This floor introduces the room clearing system where you get points for exploring, clearing the mobs, solving puzzles, and finding the secrets. They have tried to make this system as intuitive as possible, but secrets are secrets. Being fast at finding these secrets makes or breaks a dungeon run, as they are worth lots of points, and they are very difficult to initially figure out. The room layout is different every time you enter, and there are tons of rooms that can spawn. Learning all of these secrets takes a long time, so mod developers have made tools to assist us with this process. Skyblock has a ton of utility mods, and they're all extremely helpful. Borderline cheating sometimes. Utility mods especially shine when it comes to dungeons. A map in the top left, puzzle solvers, and dungeon room secret waypoints. These are the most important things that I couldn't imagine playing without. Especially this mod, Dungeon Rooms. I'm not sure what reputation this mod has, but it's been extremely useful for me. Instead of running around the rooms cluelessly, this mod shows me where the secrets are while actually playing the game. Utility mods play a huge part in Skyblock. They may not be required, but it's a situation where I would be damned to not use these mods. And this is when I remember, clinically, people suck. Yeah, there's people out there trying to hack you through Skyblock mods. And it makes sense. Skyblock is a popular game, and you can make hella profit from stealing people's stuff. Or other ways like macrobots, duping, being a YouTuber, or being a Hypixel admin, or doing something ridiculous enough to end up in a Pitfall video. Say hello to SkyClient. This program makes the process of downloading and updating your Skyblock mods very easy. SkyClient has a good reputation for being a safe and trusted resource. But here's a short story about human error. One day, a misunderstanding led to an accident causing several players to get hacked. The SkyClient situation was quickly remedied, and there were even attempts to repay the damages. The program still exists today as a trustworthy service, with this one accident being the only bad mark in their history. But that one mistake was enough to put people permanently on guard. The easiest solution is obviously not using mods in the first place, but doing this means you'll miss out on tons of helpful utility and visually beneficial stuff. I'm mentioning all of this because damn, the hardest part about my first dungeon experience was configuring these damn mods. Like, what the hell is this? Why are the chests such a nasty color? How do I turn this off? Oh, look, I won. Dungeon Rooms has been an extremely helpful mod, and the goal is to eventually not need it at all. The strategies people use to absolutely speed through these dungeons look so fun. I want to clip through walls too, man. That looks fun. Say hello to my pickaxe. His name is Stonk. This is the cheapest way to get efficiency 6, which is apparently all I need if I feel like walking through walls. It's not cool enough to do the crazy shit like this, but it's still cool enough to do some funny things. So instead, the one thing I could rely on for mobility was my trusty old Aspect of the End. And I'm so mad! The worst part about my dungeon experience, other than Party Finder, was I kept running out of mana because I didn't know about these extremely crucial upgrades. I'm so good at dungeons. Okay, there's a bunch of different catacombs floors, right? All of them except entrance have their own boss at the end. Say hello to floor 1's boss. His name is Bonzo. Berserker is the funniest of the 5 classes. Berserker has bonus melee damage and an increased swing range that lets me hit multiple things at a time. There's passive ability things like healing from killing enemies, so I kinda just don't look at my health. And on top of all that, there's an ultimate ability. Pressing the drop button activates Ragnarok. For 15 seconds, my attack and walk speed hit their max stat cap and my damage increases. I conquered floors 1, 2, and 3. I was even strong enough to take them on by myself, and I could have soloed floor 3 way earlier if I wasn't dumb. Dungeons has its own unique feature in the item system. There are normal items and there are dungeon items. Dungeon items have their own stats incredibly boosted while within a dungeon depending on your catacombs level, and stars apply to the weapon, and normal equipment do not benefit from this. Unless you dungeonize them, which is what I forgot to do. Talking to the badass blacksmith dude is how you dungeonize your equipment. The cost is only a certain amount of whatever essence, which you can get from the dungeon or other outside sources. My dragon equipment needed dragon essence, which isn't hard to get at all. Except I had wasted all my dragon essence on upgrading my items, since I thought that was how you made dungeonized equipment. So, in order to fix that, I'm just gonna buy essence off the bazaar. Oh! Oh no! Doesn't matter. Dragon Essence is super easy to get. Say hello to the Draconic Altar. Something like that made a video about this thing. Check his video out, by the way, it's awesome. The Draconic Altar is practically gambling, but Dragon Essence is guaranteed every time, so that's nice. Not as cheap as just buying it off the bazaar, but this works. With my equipment dungeonized, I could easily solo floor 3, and that's where I stopped, because I finally got combat level 25. Welcome back to another episode of Vampire Hunter. So glad you could make it. Last episode, the player over there was proving what he's worth by dominating his fights against the tier 4 Ristalker, but he's let it get to his head. He is currently attempting to taunt out the strongest beast in the rift, the tier 5 Ristalker. Unfortunately for him, his equipment is not up to the task, and he's about to be made painfully aware that— oh crikey! The fight begins! We need to get closer! Unfortunate. Running out of mana during a tier 5? Not anymore. We go again. This boss is hard, man! In Tier 4, you normally take 100 damage every second. Tier 5 deals 1.5. And it doesn't stop there. For Tier 5, Impel deals 20 hearts of damage, killing you instantly. Mania's damage increases from 6 to 15, meaning you need to be especially careful not to get hit off the safe area by Twin Claws. Oh, and by the way, there's an entire extra Mania phase. Twin Claw has the most reasonable damage increase from 6 to 8, except now it's involved with a new boss mechanic. Say hello to Blood Eater. I hate this thing. The fight's already chaotic enough, and they just had to add one more thing into the mix. Fun! This thing increases the amount of damage you take every second by an entire half a heart. You have 25 seconds to destroy this, or you die, and you destroy it with the vampire's Twin Claws. This isn't really that bad on paper, but you need to consider everything combined. The vampire also has 2 secret tricks, one including Blood Eater. Sometimes it just feels like spawning it in an impossible spot.
This is unfortunate.
There's no winning when this happens. The second trick is when the tier 5 vampire decides, hey, I feel like healing up back to full HP. You healed up full... Oh, I get it. The fight's pretty ridiculous, and it's pretty common to think that the boss is unfair. The normal goal is to get at least 1 win and never do the tier 5 vampire boss ever again, since you get the Skyblock XP and an achievement for your first completion. Learning the fight and getting that first win is already going to be difficult enough. And now, I'm starting to get excited. A challenge! This game's been pissed easy up till now! It's time to show off!
Fucking go! Let's go!
The momentum started rolling in after I got my first win, with each loss becoming more and more frustrating than the last, because now I know I should be winning these. I grinded this boss for hours upon hours over the course of a week, and I love this grind. But now there's something I need to explain. I mentioned tier 5 not being worth your time, and here's why. There's 2 sought-after items dropped by the vampire boss, the vampire tooth and the burger. The McRubber's burger is a sinful item created by Satan to give people another optional reason to continue grinding in this desolate void. For each burger you eat, there's a reward, an entire 5 Skyblock XP. For people who aren't Skyblock XP tryhards, there's other benefits, like increased rift time, way more motes collected from the particles, and the most useful feature of all, increased selling price at the motes grubber. Blah! Hi, here's why this is important. Welcome to Shen's Auctions. There's a selection of special items, and they're all luxurious brand name stuff. At least that's what you can assume based on these ridiculous prices, and only one of these items actually matters. The Rift Prism. This item permanently gives you access to leave and rejoin the rift for no extra cost, and alongside that, you get a permanent 11 magic power. That's it. That's all it does. I want you to take a guess at how much this costs. And I hope you guessed 800 million coins. Yep, this thing's expensive, and I'm pretty sure it's because it gives 11 magic power. That's an entire 11 Skyblock XP. Holy moly! And there's one last important thing to know about Shen's Auctions. Only 25 of these sell every Skyblock year, and it's the most expensive item from the Rift, which makes this a very competitive item in a big game. But is it worth grinding? How many coins would you make an hour if you sold Rift Prisms? The best method for earning motes is by killing vampires. Not the Slayer boss though, only the minions. Killing these guys gets you motes, and they also drop melons. Why do they drop melons? I don't know. This is the Enchanted Melon. Crafted with 2.5 stacks of melons, this item is completely useless. There is not a single thing that you can craft with this item. But guess what? It's enchanted, and that makes it cool. The cool looking melon sells for 21,000 motes, and with all 5 burgers, that's 26,250. However, lots of people hate grinding the vampires for all 5 burgers. Typically, people quit and return far later on in their Skyblock journey to do this, but not me. And there was something I forgot to mention about tier 5 vampires. Oh my god! I just wanted some McRubber burgers, man! But instead I got a really rare drop. And it's worth... Yes! Yeah! And I even got a second one that sold for 125 million. Here's the worst part though. The Rift has given me money instead of burgers, and I can't buy burgers. The Slayer system has a pity drop feature called RNG meter, and it helps increase your chance towards a specific drop every time you beat the boss. And eventually, you reach 100%, a guaranteed drop. This is extremely unlikely to happen. Hey, wait a second. How do I have this? Burger! After a few days of constant grinding, I finished with 180 tier 5 vampire kills. And now, it was time to make even more money. This was when I decided to get the last 3 burgers by fighting tier 4 vampires. What? Just because I could farm the hardest tier doesn't mean it's worth it. This might be how it is for literally every other Slayer boss, but not vampires. The tier 5 fight takes way longer than the tier 4 boss, yet has the same drop chance for burgers. And a Greasy McGrubbers matters far more than potentially getting a rare book drop. Burger! After getting all 5 burgers, I tested out how many motes I could make in an hour. And I must be the greatest gamer of all time, because I made 300,000 motes in an hour, baby! That means I'd be making 40 million coins an hour if I managed to buy a Rift Prism for 6 million motes and sell it. 20 hours is a long time, though! Selling my melons got me nearly halfway there, but am I really going to waste 12 hours of my life with a monotonous, meaningless grind? Buy my Rift Prism, you handsome bastard! Yes! Yes! I am now rich, putting me one step closer towards quitting this game. Now my next move is figuring out how I'm supposed to spend this Rift Prism check. And there's a perfect investment opportunity for me. Minions. Minions are a giant investment. You have to unlock and upgrade minions for nearly every collection, with each unique craft aiding towards increasing your island's minion limit. Say hello to slime minions. In the following few months, these homies are going to earn me hundreds of millions of coins. Here's what matters. Enchanted Hopper. This upgrade lets the minions sell items once their inventory is full. The coin value for mob items like these are trash, barely anything, but that's where this upgrade comes in. Corrupt Soil. This upgrades the mob to drop 2 more items when killed, and these drops have ridiculous coin value. However, there's a limitation. A bug, perhaps. Minions work 24/7, even when you're not online. Hypixel uses a calculation to accurately guess the amount of money they would earn while you are gone, except it isn't built for some special cases. Melon and pumpkin minions have double the rate if the island is loaded because these crops naturally grow, and thus the minion will always harvest. When offline, the minion will do a planting action and harvest, which makes it take twice as long. Mycelium naturally spreads, so the mycelium minion can just skip steps sometimes and harvest more, which increases the rates. Water will freeze if your biome is set to taiga, meaning ice minions are almost always mining. The funny thing about the slime setup has to do with Corrupt Soil. This upgrade simply gives corrupt drops at the same ratio as slime balls, and slime minions have a random chance of dropping 1, 2, or 3 slime balls per kill. The offline calculation for slime balls is done correctly, making for an average of 2 slime balls per kill. However, Corrupt Soil only gives 1 corrupt drop for every offline kill. Simply put, you need to AFK on your island 24/7 to get the best results. Minion shenanigans have existed since the Great Potato War, and I wasn't going to miss out on nearly half the profit. In fact, it goes even deeper than this. You see this giant waste of space, terrible slime setup that I have? I got zero clue what I was cooking, and I needed to find something smaller. Something beautiful. I searched up on YouTube ways that I could possibly fix this into a smaller build, but here's where this becomes a horror story. Compact and small minion setup designs are the craze here on YouTube, and the competition is fierce. Modern Soldier and DKMC have both made videos with different slime setups. Their slime setups are both unique and compact, easy to make and understand. Except they suck! Modern Soldier straight up announces that there's an obvious flaw in the design. Half of the slimes are gonna jump out of the minion's reach. His solution is just stand on top of the box so that the slimes jump towards you, staying in the middle. Funny joke, modern jokester. Not gonna happen. Oddly enough, all of the slimes only jump in one direction, and the reason why they do this is far more interesting than I originally thought it would be. Hypixel is a server that can only be joined on 1.8, 1.12, 1.16, and up. The complexities behind allowing many different Minecraft versions to join a server is way too complicated for my tiny brain, but to put it simply, normally the lowest joinable version is the base server version. In this case, you would think that Hypixel's base version is 1.8, and you would be wrong! Maybe. Through some developer magic and stuff I could never explain, the base version of Hypixel is apparently 1.7, except it's so heavily modified that you have to use 1.8 to log into the server. This was a message from a long time ago, so who knows if it's still accurate, but this would explain why the slimes are so dumb. In 1.7, the slime AI was atrocious. and one issue was they would only jump in one direction, even getting themselves stuck in corners. This would later be fixed in 1.8 when Slime AI got updated. Now, the truth is I'm exaggerating a little bit. 4 months later, after Mr. Soldier posted their video, the Slime AI issue was fixed, and they now randomly turn. So, at the end of the day, Mr. Soldier's slime setup is completely fine. I'm just having fun. But that doesn't mean it's perfect. Next up, we have DKMCC's slime setup. It's better in comparison, but you can't stop me. What a nice, simple design. Huh, that's weird. There's 2 best slime minion setups now. Wait, do you hear that? What is that sound? It would be a shame if the tiny slimes were drowning! Hilariously enough, this is also caused by Hypixel's base server version maybe not actually being 1.8. The slimes don't swim in the 1.7 version of Minecraft, meaning the tiny slimes die before they can be killed. And no, the drowning slime does not drop slime balls. But there's an easy fix to this. Just extend the distance of the corner water sources so that the water is low enough to avoid drowning. But now we have a new problem. This design looks goofy as hell. This is horrible. Obviously, the answer is just to stick with this massive waste of space, which reintroduces the abysmal issue of travel distance and wasted time collecting resources from each of the minions. Not to mention that it takes a lot of time to make this. Be not afraid, for I come bearing good news. I and 2 friends have designed what I consider to be the best compact slime minion setup. Look at its beauty and minimal block placement, the open air and mechanically rich design. It's beautiful and entertaining. The minion is forced to only spawn slimes in spots where the big boys would fit, and blocks covered in water are not allowed. Alright, here's how you make it. Bam, 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 bam. You got the slab right there in the middle, you got the water in the 4 corners, and then the minions are placed around like this. And voila! As for what minion upgrades you would want to use, you have 2 options. Sell enchanted slime balls on the bazaar, which requires you to log on every day, or option number 2, the corrupt soil method. Option 2 is super good, especially if you are logged in with a Magma Cube pet, and it's the one I'm using. With my current setup, I would be making 12.5 million coins a day if I had my alt logged in for the full 24 hours. And even if you aren't going to be logged in, you're making more coins than option 1 as long as enchanted slime balls aren't higher than 2,750 coins on the bazaar. And yeah, I originally did not mean for this video to be this long, but I realized that Tier 5 Vampire was just the perfect goal. And thanks for making it this far. This entire video is my attempt to make this game look fun, and to showcase the many, many features enjoyed by the players. And now, it's finally time for the question that will bring this video full circle. Is Hypixel Skyblock worth playing? Yes. The main point of this game is profile progression, and it's through this enjoyable process that you will get to witness everything this game has to offer. Hypixel Skyblock is the most developed prison server you will ever play. Let's talk about the early game. The first time a player joins is an extremely important moment for the server and the player. Impressions are lasting, and it is really hard to fight against a negative experience. Because of this, games need to focus up on a great first impression. This can be done through a few different ways, like maybe watching a video. But the biggest effort should be on designing a proper hook and a game flow that allows for the player to build momentum while progressing through the content. One way to ease players into your game is with a tutorial, which I believe Skyblock did a perfect job. Many other servers in the same niche simply do not know how to get this right, offering boring tutorials, slow-moving hand-holding snooze fests with a whole lot of reading and not a whole lot of substance. And these servers need those due to the custom nature of their game. It's meant to ease the player into what they should expect, and not many Minecraft players have the correct gamer mindset for a genuine custom experience. This is where Skyblock immediately wins. There's no need for a tutorial. You spawn on an island, see big portal, me go to portal, and wabam! Walking in any direction will introduce some sort of skill. Breaking weak gets you farming speed, and the player is immediately rewarded for their actions with bright sounds and dopamine. Keep walking around and you'll stumble across portals to new islands, and now the player has a goal to work towards. This game is loaded with conditioning, and the players easily fall into the game's intended progression. The game does not have a main story beat or questline to save the world. Instead, progression is locked behind established requirements. Players are given goals to work towards, and each bit of progress is satisfying. As you get further and further into the game, things start to slow down, and the content begins to get more complex. You learn to get comfortable with these game menus, but things aren't getting any faster. To speed things up, you need coins, and to get coins, you need to grind. Best case scenario, this money grind isn't something out of the way. You don't want to waste your time after all. That's when you realize this is a time management and economy game. Almost every action a player makes can be boiled down to its level of efficiency, and metas are extremely important. From the very start, Skyblock has an insane amount of depth. The amount of influence a player's game knowledge has on their capability to quickly progress at any level of the game is astounding, and it makes the game very approachable from many levels of competence. The Auction House and Bazaar are player markets that add another layer of depth to the game, where your ability to earn coins can dictate how fast you can progress. Players can prioritize the things they find fun and make progress in other parts of the game through that, skipping the grind for items or purchasing a piece of equipment they shouldn't have access to. Competitive players can achieve that thrill of outpacing their peers, and the game has enough chill parts for casual players to find enjoyment for many hundreds of hours. Hold on a second. This is a full-on MMORPG! World of Warcraft, ESO, RuneScape, MapleStory, Final Fantasy XIV. These types of games are what I'm talking about, and Hypixel is attempting to develop a game of that magnitude inside of Minecraft. Well, why don't you just play those games instead? There's a magic to Minecraft. I've grown very comfortable with this game over the years, and being able to jump from server to server, with each game having its own unique design, is simply an amazing experience. Communities come together to create crazy things like a world from a story, or literally the Earth. Want to go fishing? Screw it. Smash Brothers? We have that too. Of course, it was only a matter of time before a developer team took up the mantle to create a game of such scale within a Minecraft server. And Lord Almighty, does the future look good for us. Windcraft, Monumenta, Isles 2.0, Spellforge, Faceland. It ain't just Skyblock, y'all. We got developers pouring their soul into making incredible games. Each one of these takes Minecraft to the next level and makes one hell of an experience with it. And Hypixel Skyblock is the most successful game within this niche by far. Does this server deserve its clout? Is it truly worth your time? Let's talk about how this game sucks. There is a fine line between quality content and a meaningless grind. The nature of Skyblock is the exponential amount of effort required to reach the next milestone, and the most well-understood fact about this game is that it is a massive time sink, and our time should be respected. Say hello to the garden. This is the worst example of time-wasting content that this game has to offer. Players used to have to build farms on their personal islands, and it was a pretty bare-bones skill. This made the necessity for something like the garden update pretty important. They fleshed out the farming skill and gave it a proper line of content progression. But it was a double-edged update. They added progression without the content. Garden at its core is hundreds of hours watching YouTube videos or movies on the side, burning time away while multitasking. This is not a game. This is a meaningless grind. This sentiment is shared for a host of features within this game. Things are fun for the first several hours, but eventually it boils down into an extended grind loop. Slayer bosses, mining, fishing, bestiary, foraging. Each one of these game features has its potential merit, promising future updates, and some grinds are better than others. For example, dungeons. Skyblock thrives when the grind includes a high skill ceiling and a deep well of knowledge. Dungeons is some of the best content Skyblock has to offer for a competitive person like me. It's fast, team content with lots of speedrun strategies to make the gameplay even faster. But, just a random thought, would I be able to say Dungeons is fun if I didn't use mods or abuse exploits? You know, playing as intended? Never mind, forget I said that. There is a large amount of content in this game, and a ton of players with different personalities. Some players will like things that others will hate, and with this much stuff, surely someone is going to find something they enjoy. The truth is, all of these worst, grindy parts of Skyblock aren't even necessary until far into the game. Nothing forces this game to be grindy early on. Eventually, you will need to do everything in order to continue making progress, but for your first many hours, you can focus on whatever things you find fun, and your profile will benefit from your time. Even if that's grinding garden, I'm sure there's some people out there who enjoy it. There's something to be said about playing the game the most efficient way and planning every step, but this is not necessary at all. Someone like me finds that fun and having fun is all that really matters here. Take it easy, do what you want. When the common opinion for a game is, oh, you only have 300 hours played? You're still at the fun part. Then, holy moly, you have absolutely won as a server game designer. The primary goal for Hypixel is to make a game that keeps as many players logged in as possible, and making a good game is only part of that equation. Finding the best ways for pieces of content to naturally lead into other parts of the game is truly their goal. The mining skill is a perfect example of this. It manages to influence almost every skill in the game, and mining progression naturally builds on itself, with almost everything contained within a its own special island, yet still having its utility show up in other islands. But maybe you reach the Dwarven Mines and realize you don't want to keep mining. Now you have access to these monsters that are one-shot by a pickaxe, granting a lot of combat XP and dropping a great set of defensive armor, naturally creating an easy segue towards focusing on the combat skill and unlocking access to a new island. It's brilliant! Wait a second, I was supposed to talk about why this game sucks. Story, questline, world building. These are things that don't really exist for Skyblock. Lore is there for the players who enjoy that stuff, but it's not at all important. The true substance of this game is that it is fun, and if you're not having fun, you should not play it. My guess is that the developer's goal is to create a game where a player who spawns in the Skyblock Hub area for the first time could walk in any direction and naturally wind up 500 hours deep into the game. This game is designed to maximize player attention, and unfortunately, this results in a story beat being secondary, which is why the existence of the Rift is so interesting to me. This piece of content is available only after the player reaches level 12, which would mean that the player has experienced Skyblock at its most basic level. Any sort of expectation this player could possibly have is flipped on its head. The weird inversion of the Skyblock Hub Island paired with a practically different game, it's extremely confusing at first. There's a quest line, activities, a proper guide that tells you what things you have left to do, interesting enemies, tons of unique one-time quests, all compacted into this small world. Yet, this content is practically hidden. There is too large a quantity of players who just wouldn't get it. So the Rift is placed at the top of a tower, waiting for someone who watched a video and thought, wait a second, isn't that super cool? This place is super cinematic and so full of energy and custom game elements, yet the overall vibe is, this is weird. I like to believe that the Rift was a creative outlet for developer experiments, and to see how players would react to such a heavily compressed area, jam-packed with quality ideas. And it was executed beautifully. Oh, damn. Skyblock is garbage! Early on, Skyblock got a lot of flack for taking over Hypixel's priority, with each and every other minigame suffering a loss of players, collecting dust as Skyblock continues to receive updates. And, sucks to suck! Skyblock is not only the most popular game on Hypixel because of updates, but also because of media. It would not surprise me if one reason Skyblock has a consistent flow of new players is because of Technoblade's Skyblock series. His existence breathed life into this game, and his videos perfectly encapsulated how far sheer effort and willpower could get you. The media scene has stayed strong over the years, with videos capable of reaching millions of views. Guide channels, news outlets, playthroughs, challenges. Skyblock is the only game in Hypixel, and within the Minecraft MMORPG server niche, to truly get proper attention. And I just think that's cool. Holy moly! I haven't gotten far enough through this game to come up with a conclusive rating. This game is massive. The comment section for this video is gonna be great. At the end of the day, what matters is if you can play this game, look back and say you enjoyed the experience. And if you didn't, there's a bunch of other servers out there. I recommend checking out The Crossroads. We got a list of cool RPG servers, and maybe one of them will be what you're looking for. And now, it's time. Is Hypixel Skyblock worth playing?
Okay. Let's dance!
Thanks for watching.